Welcome to the Chronicles of a Cheating Wife channel. A new story every day. Don't forget to subscribe. We had nothing. That was her voice, small and trembling, captured on the tiny recorder I'd just switched on. A hiss of static. Then the repeat, softer now. We had nothing. My head pounded. My heart hammered so hard it threatened to crack my ribcage. I'd found this old dictaphone tucked inside her nightstand, hidden beneath scarves she never wore anymore. I didn't even recognize the brand, some dusty contraption from another era. But it worked, and it was her voice. I closed my eyes, leaning against the bedroom wall. The paint felt cold on my back. I breathed in shallow bursts, each exhale punctuated by a jolt of panic. My lower spine throbbed, a sharp ache from too many hours stooped under car hoods. My shoulders ached too, courtesy of the janitor job I had in the evenings. 2 shifts for 5 years straight. No wonder my body felt like it was on the verge of collapse. And now, we had nothing. That's all she offered. Anna, my wife, the mother of the girl I called my daughter. The recorder clicked off, battery dying. Perfect. I stared at that chunk of plastic, my hands shaking. My wedding ring. When had I taken it off? It lay on the dresser, a dull circle of metal, glaring at me with silent judgment. I put the dictaphone down and pressed the heels of my hands against my eyes, trying to steady myself. My chest felt too tight. My left arm tingled. Stress, or something worse. But I forced myself to breathe. She claimed they had nothing, that it was just a misunderstanding. I wanted to believe her. For so many years, I'd wanted to believe every reassuring word that fell from those lips. But reality was slamming into me from all sides, unstoppable. I had her recorded voice. I had a single damning phrase. And I had a gut feeling that told me the truth was so much bigger, so much uglier than nothing. I forced my legs to move, crossing into the hallway, into the kitchen where she was waiting. Anna stood by the sink, water running, her hands trembling under the faucet, as if she could scrub her guilt from her skin. She noticed me but didn't speak. My voice rasped out. You said, we had nothing. Right? Her eyes shot up, wide and panicked. Michael, I was trying to say. She swallowed hard. We never had a real. I stepped closer. The overhead light buzzed. My hands clenched at my sides. The swirling wave of nausea returned, lodging in my throat. I spoke through clenched teeth. Where were you that night? Where did you go, Anna? And with whom? She shut off the water. Michael, please, let's not do this right now. I glanced at my watch. Right now is all we've got. Her eyes darted to the corner of the kitchen, as if seeking a place to run. She tried to muster some composure, wiping her hands on a dish towel. I went out to get groceries. Then I stopped at the pharmacy. She paused, lips parting in a silent plea for me to believe her. I stared at her, unblinking. Groceries, pharmacy, and then Daniel, right? She flinched at his name. Couldn't hide it. Her voice quavered. It wasn't. Michael, it wasn't what you think. It happened once, a long time ago. It was so stupid. Just a few kisses, that's all. We had nothing. And it's over. It's been over for years. I felt the corners of my vision go dark, fury coiling inside my gut. A few kisses. Nothing. Over. Lies, half-truths. My fists shook. My body felt on the verge of betraying me. Maybe I would pass out. Maybe I'd put my hand through the wall. Instead, I breathed, inhaled through clenched teeth until the blackness receded. Her voice came again, calmer this time. Look at me, please. Michael, it's you I love. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. It was a sharp bark, torn from my throat. Love? Is that what you call it? My voice rose, echoing off the old plaster walls. Who cried, Anna? Who cried when they found out our daughter was getting married? Because I sure as hell didn't cry. But you told me, plain as day, that Michael cried. So which Michael are we talking about? Me or him? She inhaled sharply, color draining from her cheeks. She looked like a cornered animal. It was a mistake. I misspoke. Don't lie. My voice cracked. The pressure in my chest flared, jabbing through my ribcage. My throat felt raw. Don't you dare lie to me now. I reached out, yanking open the junk drawer. My hand fumbled until I found the crumpled lab envelope that had arrived a week ago. The DNA test. My death sentence. Or maybe the old me's death sentence. I threw the envelope onto the kitchen table. Explain this to me, Anna. Go ahead. She didn't pick it up. She didn't need to. She knew exactly what was inside. Her entire body seemed to deflate. Tears shimmered in her eyes. Michael, I'm so sorry. You don't know what this does to me. A surge of bitterness rose in my throat. To you. This destroys me. She sank onto a chair, burying her face in her hands. Her shoulders trembled. I tried to keep her safe. I tried to keep us all together. I stared down at her hunched form. My voice dropped low, almost a whisper. You knew she wasn't mine. All these years, Anna. 5 years I worked nights to save money for that wedding. 5 years of double shifts. I tore my body apart for you. For her. And you knew. She choked back a sob. It was just once, I swear. We were having a rough patch. You were working so much, never home. I felt alone. My head spun. I wanted to smash something, but there was only my grief, my anger, and her tear-streaked face. Just once. Great. That's all it took to blow up my entire life. Silence. Only the hum of the refrigerator, the trickle of the faucet. She whispered, I love you. I do. I couldn't look at her anymore. My gaze fell on the dark smudge of oil staining my jeans, souvenir from the auto shop earlier. It struck me how everything in my life revolved around patches, stains, mechanical fix-its. But nothing could fix this. The final crack had appeared, a fault line severing everything I once held sacred. I remember the exact moment I knew, beyond a shred of doubt, that she was lying about nothing. It was a month ago, though it feels like an eternity. I'd come home late, exhausted from cleaning the school hallways for hours, after a full day's shift at the garage. The light in the living room was still on, unusual for that hour. I tiptoed in, trying not to wake Anna. But she wasn't asleep. She was on the couch, phone in hand, wearing nothing but an old, oversized t-shirt. She jumped up the second I entered. Panic flickered across her face. Michael, you're back early. Early? It's almost 1 in the morning. My pulse quickened. Who were you talking to? She fumbled. Just a friend. A coworker. I remembered the tension in her voice, that slight tremor as she struggled to end the call. She didn't even say goodbye. She just jabbed the phone off. That was when suspicion lodged in my chest. Like a piece of shrapnel, it just stayed there, digging deeper. In the days that followed, the phone calls became more frequent. She took them in the bathroom, behind a locked door. Her voice hushed. When I confronted her, she shook her head, called me paranoid. We have nothing to hide, she said. Why are you so jealous all of a sudden? But I knew. Men always know when the truth begins to slip away. We had nothing. Now it's become her refrain, a single broken record spinning in my ears. We had nothing. Like an echo in an empty canyon. I needed proof. So I found the lab that did paternity tests. I quietly swabbed what I needed, mailed it in. The dread in my stomach was immediate. And when the results arrived, when I saw probability of paternity, 0%, scrawled across that official paper, my hands shook so badly I nearly ripped the envelope in two. That was the day my heart seized up and died. Because everything I'd built over 2 decades, my marriage, my fatherhood, my sense of self, crumbled into dust. 2 weeks have passed since I confronted her in the kitchen. Or is it 3? Time blurs. I haven't been sleeping. My nights stretch on, a series of flickering flashbacks. Anna's tear-streaked face, the envelope on the table, The echo of her repeated "I love you" in the stillness. I hear about Daniel in snatches. A name on a piece of mail, or a rumor from a coworker who sees Anna's car parked somewhere it shouldn't be. I collect these scraps of evidence like a detective in a film noir, trying to reconstruct the web of betrayal. He's apparently a contractor, works on home renovations. Met Anna when he repaired some leaky pipes at the dentist's office, where she occasionally helped with front desk work. They started talking. Then texting. Then, well, I can't pretend I didn't see it. I found the pictures in her phone. Grainy, quickly snapped images. Them smiling, her leaning into his shoulder, a shadowy shot of a bed's edge. The angle alone told me everything I needed to know. My chest had tightened so violently I thought I'd keel over. My fingertips went cold, but I scrolled through every last one, burning them into my memory, because if I was going to shatter, I'd do it with my eyes wide open. Her excuses ring in my ears. It's been over for years. It's done. But the timeline doesn't add up. Our daughter is 19, fresh out of high school, engaged to a boy from down the street. 19 years of lies, or maybe fewer. Maybe Anna kept it from me during the pregnancy. Maybe she'd never been fully sure whose child it was. But each hypothesis only twists the knife deeper. Still, I can't simply vanish. I have responsibilities. Bills. That wedding. God help me, I'd already put down a deposit on the flowers. I catch glimpses of my daughter. My not daughter, through half-shut doors. She's radiant, practicing her walk down the imaginary aisle, and I can't bring myself to ruin her illusions with my own devastation. So I force a smile, keep quiet, and continue living in the house that no longer feels like home. The evening is hot, sweltering in late summer's humidity. I'm in the garage, hunched over an old tape recorder. I found it in one of my father's boxes after he passed away. Next to it sits the dictaphone I discovered in Anna's nightstand. Part of me wonders if I should just smash them both. The whir of the box fan overhead is the only sound. My t-shirt is damp, and sweat beads along my temples. I think about how easy it would be to pack a bag and drive away. Just vanish. Let them figure out how to pay for the wedding or explain the vacant seat where the father of the bride should be. But I can't. Pride. Maybe. Or a sense of duty, twisted as that might be. I was raised to believe that you finish what you start. That's why I've decided. If she wants to pretend everything is fine, I'll give her a show. I'll walk the aisle with our girl, stand behind her in the photos, keep my mouth shut. But afterward, I'm gone. Maybe she can run off with Daniel if that's what she wants. Or maybe she'll realize how badly she ruined it all. Either way, I'll be free. That's the only thing that matters now. My phone buzzes. My boss from the janitorial gig is calling. Some emergency. I sigh, rub my eyes. Another night shift. Another chunk of my life whittled away in fluorescent-lit hallways. I pick up the ring from the workbench, weigh it in my palm. The metal is warm from the day's heat. Once, it was a symbol of hope. Now it feels like a trap. I slip it into my pocket, ignoring the metallic taste in my mouth that surges whenever I think about what this ring has come to represent. I'm dozing off in the school's maintenance closet when the old landline phone on the wall shrieks, jolting me awake. Heart pounding, I pick up. It's the security guard, telling me that there's a woman outside looking for me. Anna. I drag myself to the front lobby. My eyes are heavy with fatigue. Sure enough, she's standing behind the locked glass doors, hair damp with drizzle from the dark parking lot outside. She looks both frightened and determined, hugging her purse to her chest. I let her in, disarmed by her expression. I shouldn't be here, she says. But I needed to talk to you. I rub the back of my neck. It's 2 a.m., Anna. I know. She glances around, voice echoing in the empty halls. I tried calling. You wouldn't pick up. I drove here. Michael, can we talk? Please. She's trembling. I motion for her to follow me into the small teacher's lounge so we don't have to stand under the security camera's watchful eye. She sits on the edge of a plastic chair, hands twisting in her lap. I flick on a single overhead light. The stark fluorescence makes her look pale, older. My chest constricts at the memory of how I once adored her face, how I thought I could read every thought in her eyes. Now, she's a stranger. Talk, I say, arms folded. She moistens her lips. This can't go on. The silence, the tension. It's killing me. I'm sorry about everything. I swear to you, it was a mistake. I never wanted to hurt you. I love you. Please, believe me. Something in my stomach clenches. You keep saying that. I love you, I love you. Then why does my entire life feel like it's been doused in kerosene and set on fire? She tears up. I know I can't make this right with words. But maybe we can get through the wedding. See if we can salvage our marriage. Counseling, therapy, anything. I'll do it. I laugh, short and mirthless. Why? So you can keep living under this roof, playing happy family while you slip off for more nothing with Daniel. Her face contorts. It's not. We haven't seen each other in years. I swear. He doesn't even live near Cleveland anymore. He's barely around. You're lying, I snap, leaning forward. I found his name on your phone. You've been texting. He's in town. Don't treat me like an idiot. She flushes red, stammering. That was just an old habit. I texted him once for closure. That's it. Closure, I echo, the word curling distaste in my mouth. So you needed closure with the man who fathered our daughter. Because that's what the DNA test shows, right? Her eyes brim with tears. She shakes her head violently. Don't say that. Don't reduce her to a piece of evidence. She's our daughter. I don't care what that paper says. You're the only father she's ever known. My voice breaks, the pain shooting up my spine. Stop. We both fall silent, the hum of the refrigerator the only sound. My breathing is ragged. I feel a trickle of sweat roll down my temple. Michael, she says softly, we can face this together. If you just let me in. I search her face, seeing the ghost of the woman I once loved. But there's a gap now, an unbridgeable distance, something irreparable. I can't decide if it's hate or heartbreak swelling in my chest. Maybe they're the same thing right now. Finally, I speak, voice so low it's nearly a growl. I'll walk her down the aisle, Anna. I won't ruin her wedding. But after that, I'm done. You understand? I'm moving out. Or you can move out. It doesn't matter. I can't keep living in this lie. She looks like I slapped her. Tears roll down her cheeks, but I can't let myself soften. Pain radiates from my right shoulder, shooting into my neck. I shift my weight. My entire body is in revolt, exhaustion, heartbreak, betrayal. She tries to reach for my hand, but I step back. She stays there, eyes closed, shoulders trembling, as if she's physically holding herself together. Then she whispers, "All right. If that's how you feel." It is. Her lips part in another apology, but nothing comes out. Eventually, she nods, stands, and walks unsteadily toward the door. "Will you come home?" She manages, turning at the threshold. Later, I say, "I've got floors to mop." She leaves. I slump into a chair, my head in my hands. My chest feels like it's caving in, but at least my decision is made. Maybe that's all I have left. The illusions have burned away. After this wedding, I'm free. 2 days before the wedding, I'm at the garage, finishing up an oil change on a classic car. My coworker, Frank, a quiet older man, notices my stiff posture and the perpetual scowl on my face. He clears his throat. "You all right, Mike?" I shove the used oil filter aside. "Fine." My tone is clipped. I feel the tension in my shoulders like a vice. He gives me a wary look but doesn't press. Instead, he hands me a rag. "All done here?" "Yeah." I realize my hands are shaking from the tightness in my chest. Pain radiates along my ribcage. I press a palm to my sternum, forcing myself to breathe. Just a couple more days. Then it's over. On my lunch break, I step outside for fresh air. The sun is relentless, the humidity thick. My phone vibrates in my pocket. A text. I pull it out and see an unknown number. You have a minute to talk. My blood runs cold. My chest seizes. Daniel. He must have my number from Anna's phone. I stare at the screen, my hand trembling so violently I almost drop the phone. Rage floods me. This man took everything from me. Fathered the child I raised. Stole my wife's loyalty. Now he has the nerve to ask for a minute of my time. I type back. Go to hell. Then delete it. Too emotional. Instead, I thumb a simple question. What do you want? His reply comes almost immediately. Need to see you. It's important. It's about her. Her. Anna, or my daughter. The text is ambiguous. But either way, my stomach twists. Adrenaline surges through me, painful and hot. Fine. Where? He sends an address. Some half-finished housing development about 10 minutes from the garage. Probably one of his job sites. I close my eyes, counting to 5. I'm about to do something reckless, but I'm too far gone to stop now. My body thrums with tension, and a deep, unholy need for confrontation simmers in my gut. I go back inside. Tell Frank I have to step out for a quick errand. He raises an eyebrow but doesn't argue. The development is a dusty sprawl of partially built houses and scattered construction material. I park my battered pickup near a row of dumpsters. The glare of midday sun on my windshield forces me to squint. No sign of Daniel's truck. For a second, I think he stood me up. Good. Better that way. I can keep my fists to myself. But then I see him. He emerges from the skeletal frame of a half-finished house. Tall, broad-shouldered, wearing jeans and a work shirt. He waves me over, calm, like we're old friends. I get out, slamming my door so hard the old truck rattles. The ache in my spine intensifies with each step. The heat is suffocating, or maybe it's just the roiling anger inside me. He stops a few yards away, lifting his hands in a non-threatening gesture. Mike, right? Michael, I correct. My voice is tight. What do you want? He exhales, glancing at the dusty ground. I didn't come here to start trouble. I thought we should talk. I laugh, cold and humorless. About what? How you slept with my wife and fathered a child I raised. That's quite a conversation. He grimaces. Look, man, I didn't know back then. Anna never told me she was pregnant until much later. By then, she said she wasn't sure who the father was. Then she decided. I cut him off with a snarl. She decided to lie to me for 19 years. He rakes a hand through his short hair. I didn't force her. It all happened so fast. Back then, we were both in a bad place. She was lonely. I was in over my head. I'm not proud of it. My shoulders tense, fists clenched. God, how I want to lash out physically, but I hold back. Just tell me why you're here. He meets my gaze. I notice his eyes are a pale blue. I hate that I'm noticing anything about him, that I'm seeing him as a person. Anna told me you found out, he says quietly. I wanted to talk to you before the wedding. I don't want to mess that up for her, for your daughter. She's still your daughter, Mike. Everyone knows you're her dad in every way that counts. My chest aches so bad I can hardly breathe. Don't call me that. Don't pretend you understand how I feel. He nods, stepping back. You're right. I don't. But you need to know that I'm not trying to come between you now. Whatever was between me and Anna was over long ago. I'm leaving town after this project is done. I scoff. Good for you. Then get out. Why text me? He hesitates, wiping sweat from his brow. Because you deserve an apology. And if she's yours in your heart, I don't want to ruin that. I know how it might look. DNA test aside. You raised her, man. You're her father. I just want you to know I'm not trying to claim anything. My throat goes tight. My voice, when it comes, is unsteady, barely above a whisper. This conversation doesn't change a damn thing. I'm not your buddy. I don't need your half-baked apology. You ruined my marriage. He lifts a hand, lips parted to speak, but I cut him off again, stepping forward. The dusty ground crunches under my boots. Stay away from me. Stay away from Anna. Stay away from my daughter's wedding. Got it? He nods, swallowing. I'm not invited, and I'm not coming. I promise. The tension in my body flares. For an instant, I wonder if I'll punch him. But my chest tightens, pain radiates around my ribs, reminding me how fragile my body has become. I suck in a shallow breath. We're done here. I turn and walk away. The urge to glance back is strong, but I don't. I climb into my truck and drive off, hands shaking on the wheel. My phone buzzes with a text, probably him, but I ignore it. The rest of the day passes in a haze. I go through the motions at work, then clock out and force myself through the evening shift at the school. My mind replays the confrontation over and over. His face, his words, the tension in my fists. I wanted more from that moment. Violence, closure, something. Instead, I'm left with the same gnawing emptiness. The wedding day arrives, bright and unseasonably warm. My shirt collar feels too tight as I stand in our living room. Adjusting the second-hand suit coat, I stitched and patched up myself. Couldn't afford a new one. But I did my best, thinking only of my daughter's happiness, never suspecting it would come to this. She's radiant in her white dress, beaming with that effervescent joy only a bride can have. The sight tears my heart apart. She touches my arm gently, eyes shining. Daddy, thank you for everything. Daddy. The word hits me like a freight train, but I force a smile. You look beautiful, sweetheart. Anna stands off to the side in a pale green gown, hands clasped. Her face is tight, smile forced. Our gazes meet for a fraction of a second. Pain flickers there. She tries to mouth, "I'm sorry," or something, but I turn away. I escort my daughter to the car, help her settle her train. My back twinges, a biting reminder of the double shifts I've endured. But I keep it together. My voice, my posture, everything is for her, my not biological daughter, who trusts me with all her heart. At the church, guests murmur in the pews. I see Anna's relatives, some old friends from the neighborhood, coworkers from the auto shop. And there, near the back, my eyes latch onto a single figure who stands out like a sore thumb. Daniel. He's wearing a simple suit, tie loosened. He stands by the door, scanning the crowd. My blood boils. Did he lie about staying away? My fists clench, but my daughter is pulling at my arm. Daddy, is something wrong? I force my voice to stay calm. No, baby. Let's focus on you. She nods, searching my face. I'm so nervous. I pat her hand. You'll do great. We line up by the entrance to the chapel. The music swells. It's happening, the moment she's dreamed about. I guide her down the aisle, step by measured step. My heart thunders. My thoughts swirl. My shoulders ache, but I don't let my posture falter. Everyone's watching, cameras flashing. She looks up at me with gratitude, tears in her eyes. I want to sob, or scream, or maybe both. But I keep my composure. We reach the altar. I lift her veil, kiss her cheek, then place her hand in her fiance's. The two of them glow, lost in each other's presence. I slip into the front pew next to Anna, my breath shallow. She tries to take my hand, but I fold my arms, staring straight ahead. She recoils, tears brimming. I tell myself, just a few more hours. The ceremony passes in a blur. Vows, rings, the final pronouncement. My daughter and her new husband walk back up the aisle to thunderous applause. I catch a glimpse of Daniel slipping out the side door. Anna notices too, her expression tightening. At the reception, the walls close in on me. Laughter, toasts, dancing. Everyone is congratulating me, patting my back, praising how wonderful the wedding is. I force small smiles, courtesy laughs, while inside, I'm unraveling. Anna moves like a ghost around the tables, politely greeting guests, but her eyes flick toward me again and again. After the first dance, I slip outside to breathe. My spine throbs and my chest feels like it's encased in concrete. The sky is a blazing streak of sunset. The music from inside filters out, muffled. I lean against the side of the building, letting the cool air wash over me. My head dips forward, exhaustion taking hold. That's when Daniel appears. He steps around the corner, hands in his pockets, glancing at me with apprehension. Before I can speak, he says, "I'm leaving. I just wanted to be here, watch her happiness from a distance. I'm sorry if that's not what you wanted." Rage flares. "You said you wouldn't come." He looks pained. "I didn't mean to disrespect you. I had to see her on her wedding day. That's all. I'm heading out now." A wave of something, not pity, exactly, but some twisted empathy, washes through me. I swallow, my throat raw. "Go. Just go." He nods. For a moment, I see regret etched on his face. Then he walks away, footsteps echoing on the pavement. I slump against the wall again, pressing a hand to my chest, every muscle burning. Suddenly, the side door swings open. Anna steps out, sees me. "Michael?" She glances around warily. "Everything okay? Did you talk to him?" She looks so tired, tears rimming her eyes. I can't remember the last time we had a real conversation that wasn't tinted by lies. My voice trembles. "Yeah, I talked to him. He's leaving." She swallows. "Good." I nod, exhaling. My pulse is still pounding. "Listen, after the reception's done, I'm going to head out. I've got my stuff ready in the trunk." She inhales sharply. "You're really doing this now? Tonight?" "It's already decided." My voice cracks on the words, but I keep going. "Don't fight me on it. I can't stay here. I can't live with." My voice fails. The guilt and anger tie a knot in my throat. She steps closer, tears running freely now. "Please, Michael, I know what I did is unforgivable. But do you have to leave me this way? We share so many years." "We share?" "No," I say harshly. "We don't. I thought we did. That's the difference." She crumples into silent sobs, shoulders shaking. A wave of guilt hits me, but I can't relent. I'm drowning in my own agony. If I give an inch, I'll end up strangled by her remorse. So I just stand there, letting her cry, letting the twilight settle around us. When she calms slightly, she whispers, "You're a good man, Michael. I'm sorry I destroyed that. I'm sorry I ruined us." I say nothing. My voice is gone, my throat locked. The physical pain in my chest is so intense, I fear I might keel over. But I stay upright, every muscle trembling. At length, the sounds of laughter and music from inside remind us we have roles to play for just a few more hours. She wipes her eyes, tries to compose herself, and we re-enter the reception, each step heavier than the last. The final speeches are done. The cake is cut. My daughter, glowing with post-ceremony bliss, throws her arms around me. "Thank you. This day was perfect." I hold her tight, fighting tears. "You're welcome, sweetheart." My voice almost falters. She doesn't notice. Her new husband calls her away, and she bounds off, radiant. She never suspects that in a matter of hours I'll be gone. I slip into the house as the last guests leave. The living room is a minefield of wrapping paper, gift boxes, plates, crumpled napkins. I head for the garage. My battered suitcase waits by the door, along with a cardboard box of my personal things. It's not much, just clothes and a few keepsakes from my parents. A lifetime reduced to a handful of items. My ring sits on a bent nail hammered into the wooden beam, exactly where I left it days ago. I pick it up, weigh it in my palm. Then I slip it onto that nail again. I don't want it. It burns my fingers. a manacle that no longer fits. I hear Anna's footsteps behind me. She stands in the doorway, face blotchy from crying, arms folded protectively over herself. Neither of us speaks. We just stare, the silence so thick it feels alive. Finally, I heft my suitcase, push past her gently, and walk down the short hallway to the front door. She calls my name once, softly, but I don't turn around. My left foot drags a little from exhaustion, from the strain of the day and the years before it. Every nerve in my body screams, but I keep going. I open the door and step out into the night, letting it swallow me whole. I drive aimlessly for a while, windows down, letting the wind lash my face. My mind is a tempest. The city lights blur. My breathing is ragged. I wonder if I'll break down, if tears will come. But I feel strangely numb. 2 hours later, I pull into a motel on the outskirts of Cleveland. The neon sign flickers. Cheap. Isolated. Perfect. I get a room, toss my suitcase onto the bed, and slump to the floor, back against the wall. My chest is on fire, and I press a trembling hand to my sternum, trying to quell the burn. My voice shakes in the silence as I mumble, "We had nothing, right?" I say it over and over, each repetition quieter, more hollow. The days that follow stretch into a dull routine. I transfer my evening job to a different district, so I don't run into Anna. The auto shop is the same, though, my main source of income. I can't quit both. The manager is sympathetic, says I can work flexible hours to sort out my personal life. I just nod, burying myself in tasks. My chest still hurts most nights, but I swallow handfuls of over-the-counter painkillers and push on. One evening, after a grueling double shift, I return to the motel. There's a voice message waiting on my phone from Anna's mother, a cold, curt woman who never liked me much. She demands to know why I'm gone, begs me to think of the family. I delete the message halfway through. The next day, a text from my daughter appears, just a picture of her in her wedding dress, smiling. I stare at it for a long time, tears stinging my eyes, before turning off my phone entirely. I see no one, talk to almost no one, unless it's for work. Day after day, I retreat into the numbness. The motel's broken ice machine, the flickering hallway lights, the stale odor of cigarettes. These become my new normal. I feel like a ghost. But one night, rummaging through my suitcase, I find the old tape of Anna's voice, the one from that battered dictaphone. We had nothing. I stare at it for a solid minute. Then I crush it under my heel, plastic shards skittering across the motel floor. Enough. I can't keep dancing with her lies. The next morning, I do something I haven't done in months. I call a real estate agent. It's time to find a small apartment, maybe even a studio near the garage. I can't rot in a motel forever. Life moves on, even if I feel like I'm stuck in quicksand. A week later, I'm signing a lease. The apartment is modest. Just a single bedroom and a cramped living space. But it's mine, paid for with my own sweat. I stock it with a rickety table, a second-hand couch, a blank slate for a broken man. The first night in my new place, I lie on the floor, no bed yet, and stare at the ceiling. My chest still hurts, but in the hush of that empty apartment, I notice something else. A faint sense of relief. Like I'm breathing different air, freed from illusions. It's been 2 months since the wedding. Anna hasn't come to see me, though I've gotten a few voicemails, each more desperate than the last. I haven't responded. Once or twice, I hovered over the call back button, longing to hear her voice, to see if she's okay. But then I remember the lab results, the hidden phone calls, the tears. I remember, we had nothing. The phrase she used to dismiss everything I knew was real. And I can't bring myself to speak to her. My daughter's messages, though, are different. She sends me pictures of her new life, her and her husband smiling on their honeymoon, them painting their new apartment. She begs me to visit, to be dad again. That's the part that hurts the most. knowing I love her with every fiber of my being, but also knowing she's not mine by blood. That knowledge curdles inside me, an unrelenting ache. Some nights I wonder if I'll ever be able to look her in the eye without feeling betrayed. But it's not her fault. I want to see her, hold her, protect her. Even now, I want that. Finally, after weeks of torment, I decide. She shouldn't pay for Anna's mistakes, so I type a careful text. I'd love to see you. Let's get coffee sometime, or dinner. Let me know. She replies instantly. Yes, Daddy. Tomorrow. Tears sting my eyes. I agree on a time and place, and for the first time in a long while, I feel anticipation that's not laced with dread. The cafe is busy. She's already at a corner table when I walk in, scanning the crowd with anxious eyes. When she spots me, her face lights up with relief. My heart twists painfully. I force a small smile and wave. She stands, hesitates, then rushes forward and hugs me. Her slender arms around my neck remind me of the countless times I carried her as a toddler. I breathe in, fighting tears. She still smells faintly of that floral shampoo Anna always bought her. The association stabs me like a knife. We sit, order coffee. She looks older, more womanly. The wedding ring glints on her hand. She's telling me about her new apartment, how they got a second-hand couch and repainted the walls. I nod, focusing on her words, trying not to retreat into bitterness. Eventually, she takes my hand. Dad, I know. Things with Mom aren't good, but I need to hear from you that I haven't lost you. My throat constricts. You haven't lost me. I promise. My voice is strained, but I manage to keep it steady. She watches me, a flicker of worry crossing her face. Is there anything you want to tell me? About why you left? I swallow, the old pain flaring in my chest. That's between me and your mother. You're an adult now. I couldn't stay. I needed to go. Her eyes shine with tears. Did I do something wrong? No, I say firmly, reaching to squeeze her hand. No, it's just me and your mom. We're not. It's broken. I'm sorry. She breathes shakily. I miss you. I grew up with you there every day. And now, she breaks off, pressing her lips together to steady herself. My mind replays the 1,000 small moments we shared. Me fixing her bike chain, helping her with algebra, teaching her how to drive. Those memories bruise my heart, but they're mine. No one can take them. I'm here, sweetheart. I say, I love you. Always. She nods, wiping her cheek. We talk a while longer about her married life, her plans. I force myself to smile, to listen. She's so hopeful. And as she talks, I feel something in me begin to mend, just a little. Because fatherhood isn't about DNA, is it? It's about showing up, every day. And that's what I did. That's what I'll keep doing, for her sake. The coffee meeting with my daughter becomes a weekly routine. We catch up, keep it light. She keeps her mother updated, so I hear. Anna, apparently, is struggling with me gone. But that's not my problem anymore. My daughter mentions once that Anna has been seeing the counselor and regrets how everything went down. I nod noncommittally. I don't want to relive the betrayal. I don't want to dissect that wound any further. Still, the chest pain remains a constant shadow. Some nights, I lie awake on my lumpy mattress, feeling the ache spread. Maybe it's a real medical issue, or maybe it's heartbreak incarnate. Either way, I endure it. Then, unexpectedly, one afternoon, Anna calls me from an unknown number. I pick up without thinking. Michael? Her voice is soft, hesitant. I exhale sharply. What do you want? I'm sorry to bother you. The roof is leaking, and I know you handled all that before. Do you know who I should call? My first instinct is to snap that she should call Daniel. Then I realize how petty that sounds. I sigh, pinching the bridge of my nose. Check the insurance info in the kitchen drawer, or call a roofer. I'm not your husband anymore, Anna. A pause. I can hear her breathing. I know, she whispers. I'm trying to figure things out on my own. I never realized how much you did. My chest tightens. Yeah. Well, now you know. Silence. Finally, she says, I'll let you go. She hangs up, leaving me feeling raw. My heart slams against my ribcage, the old anger stirring. But behind that anger, there's a flicker of something else. Pity, maybe. She's alone, grappling with all those responsibilities. For 20 years, I carried that load. Now, I'm done. I drop my phone onto the table, close my eyes. My body trembles, exhausted by even that small exchange. But I feel a grim satisfaction, too. She wanted me to fix her problems, like always. Not anymore. A week later, Anna calls again. I see the unknown number and nearly ignore it. But curiosity wins. Her voice is different this time, urgent. Michael, I know you said you're done with me. And you have every right to be. But the daughter's fiancé, he was in an accident. My blood runs cold. Is he? He's alive, but he's in the hospital. She's there alone. And I can't handle it all by myself. Please, can you come? Just for her. My pulse races. For our daughter, I'd do anything. Which hospital? I ask, already grabbing my keys. At the hospital, the fluorescent lights sting my eyes, and the sterile smell reminds me of old aches. I spot my daughter in the hallway, hugging herself, tears on her cheeks. She rushes to me, burying her face in my chest. Dad, he's stable, but they need to do surgery for a broken leg. I'm so scared. I wrap my arms around her, ignoring the pain that tightens across my ribcage. Honey, it's okay. He's in good hands. Anna stands a few steps away, tears in her eyes, watching us. For a moment, we share a wordless exchange. Memories of when our daughter was small, all the times we soothed her. There's an unspoken truce in the air. All night, we stay in the waiting area, dozing fitfully on vinyl chairs. Anna tries to talk to me a few times, but we keep it civil and focused on our daughter's needs. The tension is there, but overshadowed by the crisis at hand. By morning, the fiancé is out of surgery, stable, though he'll need rehab. My daughter sobs with relief, then clings to me and Anna. We form a small broken circle of support around her. Despite everything, I realize we're still a family in some distorted shape. I look down at Anna, and for a split second, I see the woman I once loved, a woman I worked 2 jobs to provide for, to protect. My chest throbs with an old familiar ache, but I push it aside. That part of me died the day I read that lab result. We exchange a nod. That's enough. Time slips by. The fiancé recovers. My daughter moves forward with her new life. Me, I keep working, paying rent, surviving day to day. I'm quieter now, older somehow, stooped from the weight of all I've gone through. But there's a hardness in me that wasn't there before, a resilience. One evening, I find myself tinkering with an old radio in my apartment. My phone buzzes, a text from Anna. Michael, I just wanted to say thank you for coming to the hospital. It meant a lot to her, and to me. I stare at the screen for a long moment. My heart doesn't race this time. My chest still aches, but it's a more familiar, manageable pain. I close the message without responding. Months later, I'm locking up the auto shop late one night. The air is crisp, the city lights humming. My body is worn, but my mind is surprisingly steady. I walk to my truck, climb in, rest my head on the steering wheel. The memory of those last words, "We had nothing," drifts by like a ghost. I can't decide if it's haunting me or fueling me. As I drive off, I realize something. I am stronger now. Anna's betrayal cut me to the core, but in stripping everything away, it forced me to confront who I am without illusions. I'm no one's husband anymore, yet I'm still me. I still have work, dignity, my daughter's love. I pull into my new driveway, just a parking spot behind the small complex. I cut the engine, sit in the darkness for a minute. Pain still pulses in my ribs whenever I remember the wedding, the DNA test, the hum of that little dictaphone. But it's quieter now, less all-consuming. We had nothing. I murmur softly, my voice echoing in the cab. I guess I had nothing to lose then. I step out into the night, shut the door behind me. The cold air bites at my face. I look up at the starless sky, breathe in, and let out a shaky exhale. There's a dryness in my throat, an odd calm. The kind of calm that comes after you accept the worst and walk away from it. A faint smirk ghosts across my lips. No humor in it, just determination. They broke me, yes, but as I slide my keys into the front door, I realize I'm not destroyed. I'm free. I carry my pain, but it doesn't own me. This is my life now, stripped of fantasy, and for the first time in years, I feel something close to hope. I close the door behind me. The latch clicks, final and firm. Then the darkness of my apartment wraps around me like a new beginning.